Welcome on into the Utah Blockcast. I'm Steve Bartle, Utah Insider for KSL Sports. Good to be with you. This is our Thursday episode, and with our Thursday episode, we're going to be double dipping. Going to have this episode out Thursday morning. We're also going to be going live later on tonight. Me and Bennett going to be doing live, and excited for that one. That one's going to be more of our game plan type of conversation where we break down Utah versus Texas Tech, and that's going to be a fun one. So looking forward to that tonight. But on this episode, got a few things to run through. And a lot going on up at Utah right now. Obviously, tons of preparations for this weekend's contest with big noon kickoff coming to town. They've been hard at work this week getting everything set up for what's going to be a pretty fun day of football, I think, for Utah. And you know, so they've got the setup on Guardsman Way. They've got, I think it's going to be a great turnout for fans and a great opportunity for Utah to really show out this weekend on Fox with big noon kickoff. So really looking forward to that. Also going on up there on Guardsman Way, Utah baseball continuing their construction and making progress towards a January finish date. And so we had the opportunity to go up there Wednesday to take a tour of the new facility, and they've made a lot of progress and still a lot of work to be done. But that new site is going to be really nice for Utah baseball. So and then, you know, with Utah football, obviously everything going on with that injury report. The first injury report for Utah this season dropped Wednesday night as well. They released the uniforms that they'll be wearing on Saturday, and then also pretty significant list of visitors going to be on hand for Utah this weekend as well. So on this one, that's what we're going to be talking about on this episode. So to start, want to start with Utah baseball. Again, just a tremendous thing for Utah to be doing to bring Utah baseball home to campus, providing them a new home, a new stadium, Charlie Montfort Field at America First Ballpark, touring through it, even though construction's still going on. It's going to be a beautiful stadium, beautiful site, beautiful location. They've got the mountains as the backdrop, just a fantastic setting for Utah baseball. To start, we had the opportunity to talk with Utah AD Mark Harlan about the new stadium, and I thought he shared some, interesting insights into the new ballpark. So here is our conversation with Mark Harlan.
Mark, just what does it mean to be able to have a facility of your own that your players can kind of do everything they need to here?
It's just a dream. This is the team that just didn't really have a home, certainly on campus. I'm really excited about the stadium, really excited about our fans experiencing it, but I'm really excited for our team to have such an improved area to just get better every day in what they love so much, which is playing baseball. The indoor facility, in terms of how many bays, hitting bays, pitching bays, is going to be remarkable for them. And just their space, a place to come back like we see with football and other teams, to have a lounge where they can do all their homework, never play video games, and do all those kind of things. It means so much. Big 12 is a big-time baseball conference, and we want to lean into everything that is the Big 12. And so it's a great time to be a Ute baseball player, that's for sure.
What has the response been, whether from the players or people coming in to take a look at this? What has the response been about the stadium?
Pretty overwhelmed. I'll be honest with you, since I've taken a few tours, it jumps out from what I saw in the plans. Things are bigger, bolder, and I think even more awesome than we thought. And so when I go through here, I think of the folks that led us to this place, whether it's America First leadership and everything that Credit Union and their leadership stands for. I think of Charlie Montfort, everything he stands for as a former Ute, and of course so many others that contributed. And as we get them through here, those have been the kind of reactions. And the best is the reaction of the guys behind me working out right now. I mean, pretty, especially upperclassmen, pretty emotional to watch those guys out there and having the opportunity. They've been on me, this program, for 8 years to get this done. And I guess, good things take a little bit longer than you want to.
Mark, when it comes to recruiting, what does this mean for potential recruits? What about the facilities most excite you?
Well, I can tell you, according to what the coaches are telling me, it's making a big difference. Listen, we were really honored to play in what I thought was the best AAA ballpark in the country, so we recruited to that, don't get me wrong, but now that we're all in the same place, we can work out here, we can dress here, we can do everything we want here right across the street from the Eccles cafeteria. I mean, it's incredible. Look at the views. I mean, it's a big-time place, and I'm sure it's going to help us immensely in recruiting.
How much has there been any sort of collaborative effort with other programs in the Big 12 in terms of what you wanted in this stadium?
Yeah, there was a lot of tours. I was never invited. I'm not sure why. You'd have to ask Gavin and Jason. But they went to Big 12 schools, they went to other places, and they came back with a real vision to work with our architects on it. And we also had ESPN come out recently and take a look because we want to make sure all our TV areas, and a couple of them commented this is the best facility they've seen in a long time. So I think we hit all the marks we were hoping for.
What's the most unique aspect of this ballpark, or your favorite?
The view from where we stand. I mean, if you have a season ticket here, you're right on top of it. We can't be like the banana group, whatever they're called, where you catch a ball and it's an out. But it's going to be pretty easy to catch things around here. How accessible it is to the overall university for our students to come and watch their fellow students. I think it's everything. But I think when I think of the work that they do behind the scenes, this is an elite facility for that.
How much will this project be when it's all said and done?
It's going to be about 35 to 38 million, in that range. We've been basically, the only time we go over budget is when they ask me what else I might want. For example, transparency, the brick here is incredible, but as I drove by, I didn't see brick on the outside here, and I'm like, we got to brick that up. Gavin, that didn't cost too much more, did it? No. Okay, good. Because I just thought the brick, I get comments from people who drive on the road, they're like, God, it's beautiful the way that brick. So I wanted to brick up a little bit more. So I don't think they're going to call me much more. But Layton Construction, and all the group has just been amazing, keeping us right on budget.
So you talked a lot about having everything all in one house. How much do you think that's going to benefit this team when it comes to getting those wins when it matters?
I think it totally matters. I mean, think about the students that will be in the outfield. They'll be here. Our fans right on top of the opponent's dugout appropriately. All of those things. I think it just helps you win. We see it in our sports. I talk about it. I just did a radio interview earlier today. Our fans are going to help us win in Rice Eccles on Saturday, and it's the same that can happen here. I think I was told we would have sold out 11 times in this facility with last year's crowds. So think about that. That's over half already. So I think we hit the mark in terms of the amount that we wanted. It's also NCAA compatible for us to host postseason. And another thing I'm really excited about it is high school championships. We're already reaching out. I want Little Leagues playing here. I want state championships here. Surf field, this is a community, and we want others to use it as well.
What's been the response from fans or boosters about this ballpark?
Pretty excited. I think those that were really involved, that saw the plans until you come out and you see how big it is, you're like, wow. The windows, just all the things we're doing, and we're still not done. We've still got a lot of work to do, and it'll keep popping, but I haven't seen anybody come in here and be disappointed. It's been the exact opposite. Everyone's been really excited.
What about Smith's Ballpark are you going to miss the most?
Well, I really like Smith's Ballpark. I remember the first time I went down there, I mean, the views were stunning, and the way that Gavin and Jason and the architects were able to kind of replicate the view makes me really happy. But I love the history of that place. I really enjoy it. I'll be interested to see what happens, and we're very grateful to the city for allowing us to finish off there. I mean, we didn't think we were going to be able to play there last year, and so that was great for our seniors and to have that experience. But it's a great part of our history, but we're really looking forward to being on campus.
All right. That was Mark Harlan talking about Utah baseball. And again, the stadium should be finished up in about January, so just in time for the new season. And I think that as they put the finishing touches on that, it's going to come together and look really, really good. And so, again, as Mark Harlan talked about, they're going to be pushing for the state playoffs, for high school state playoffs to be played there. And I think that's just going to be a tremendous setting and tremendous opportunity for Utah baseball and Utah athletics in general. So let's transition to this weekend's big contest, big noon kickoff coming to Salt Lake City. I think a fantastic opportunity for Utah football to host the Fox pregame morning college football show. I think that's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a great turnout for Utah fans, just kind of based on the buzz that I've been seeing this week. I think there's a lot of excitement for this matchup. And with this matchup, it being the first Big 12 contest, that means the first injury report for Utah football. And as you would expect, kind Kyle Whittingham and Utah football released their injury report. And here is what we've got. We've got 4 players listed as out. That includes Rabbit Evans, unfortunately, Dadrian Zipper, Josh Sovern, who is a safety, and then offensive lineman Isaiah Garcia. And that is it. Texas Tech, on the other hand, they've got a few more on the injury report here. They've got cornerback Terrion Grant, offensive lineman Cash Cleveland, and offensive lineman Holton Hendricks listed as out. Listed as doubtful includes defensive lineman Imarion Banks, wide receiver Roy Alexander, defensive lineman Amir Washington. Listed as questionable is cornerback Morion Horn, outside linebacker Charles Esters III, offensive lineman Hunter Zambrano. Listed as probable is tight end Terrence Carter, outside linebacker Romello Height, linebacker Ben Roberts, safety Oliver Millers III, and safety Marcus Raymond Edwards. Now, of that list, in terms of the guys that are listed as out or doubtful for Texas Tech, I think the 2 names to know that, impact Texas Tech just a little bit. I don't think these are significant losses given the depth that they have at these position groups, but the 2 names that I think will have an impact, a very minor impact, are cornerback Terrion Grant and defensive lineman Amir Washington. Those are the 2 that have played, good amount of snaps to this point. They were considered, part of the rotation, the 3rd, 4th guys in the rotation at those spots. And so that is going to be something for Texas Tech. And as for Utah, as we laugh about this list and it being what it is, we know that there are a few guys that have injuries, right? Logan Fano, Dallas Vakalahi, and Donovan Saunders. I actually don't think this injury report is as inaccurate or, as some have said, Utah lying about it. I actually don't think that's the case. I think if those guys with injuries, right? Logan, Dallas, Donovan, if those guys practiced this week, right? If they practiced on Wednesday, if they practiced on Tuesday, Utah doesn't necessarily have to list them as anything. If they practice, they're likely going to play. Tuesday and Wednesday are really important practice days. And, if we assume that those guys practice, I think there's a really good chance that we see them. But also, things can change between now and then, right? These Tuesdays and Wednesdays are Utah's most physical practices. And so things can certainly change. But as of Wednesday night, I think this report is what it is. Obviously, certainly could have been, a couple other names, but I think for the most part, Utah isn't as injured as some people are making them out to be. It's pretty crazy. So I'll keep it there. Utah isn't as injured as some want to think. But yeah, I think we'll see this list, and I think the one that will be the most important, the most telling, obviously, will be the one that will be released 90 minutes to kickoff. So we'll see. Utah will release another one Thursday and then another one Friday. And then again, like I mentioned, another one 90 minutes prior to kickoff. So I think Utah's in pretty good shape health-wise. And yeah, so we'll see. Beyond that, this is going to be a pretty special opportunity this weekend. With, again, I love going back to it. Big noon kickoff, going to be on campus. It's a big opportunity for Utah. I tweeted out, earlier this week, given the opportunity, that I thought the uniform selection would be kind of interesting to see, right? This is an opportunity for the brand of the University of Utah and what they want reflected. And I thought, with it being Ute proud, it was going to be something, pretty unique. And I think that's what we got this week with this week's uniform reveal. They're going to be rocking a white on red uniform combo, which I think looks fantastic. So pretty nice look here with the white Ute proud helmet that they debuted last season with the tribal print on the interlocking U's to go along with the Ute proud stripe over the top of the white helmet on top of the red on red combo. I think this is a fantastic look, a great opportunity for Utah with this being a national game, and I think they nailed these uniforms. I think these are tremendous looking, and I think a perfect combo for what we're going to see this weekend. So great choice. I think these are awesome, and I'm interested to see what Texas Tech is going to be wearing. So yeah, and then with this weekend and it being the type of game that it is, this is also a tremendous opportunity for Utah on the recruiting front. Now, with the way that recruiting has evolved, it's changed, right? I asked Kyle Whittingham how recruiting has changed with the shift in the calendar, right? With so much of recruiting being moved to the summer months, right? Where you're seeing the bulk of official visits happening in June and the bulk of your commitments coming in June and July and all of that. It's changed the number of official visits that are taking place during the season. So with this weekend's group of visitors, there are going to be a good list. It's a good number of guys that are committed, right? But a lot of these visitors are unofficial visitors from future classes, from the 2027, 2028 classes, guys that are coming in, this weekend to get a first look at Utah. So here's the list of visitors for the weekend. Again, it's a lengthy list. I think this is one of the biggest lists that I've ever seen in all of my time covering Utah football over the last couple of years. But among them, you've got Kelvin Obot, Perion Williams, Isaiah Nyalier, Jaron Pula, Kenan Pula, and LaGary Mitchell. Those are the 6 guys that are committed to Utah in this class, the 2026 class. And then to get it going with the 2027 and 2028 classes, Utah is bringing in a lot of big headliners: Crew Jones, Sam Nata, Major Stokes, Montana Toilolo, Toa Fenga, Bodie Sparrow, Titan DeJong, Peyton Higginson, Eli Mortensen, Manasseh Brown, Christian Hanshaw, Tayo Fano. I sounded so dumb saying that. Russell Sakona, Kanile Sweetwine, and PJ Taki. Those are the only 2 in the current class, the 2026 class, that are going to be visiting. Well, I shouldn't say the only guys. There's going to be 5 mystery visitors, but I'm not going to name those guys. But there are other guys that are committed in the 2026 class that are going to be visiting. But those are the guys that I can name. And to round out the list, you've got Monson Tukuafu, Noah Sefali, and Diesel Dart, rounding out the list of visitors for Utah versus Texas Tech this weekend. Again, it's a big-time opportunity for Utah on a number of fronts, and I think one of the most important is being recruiting and making a good impression. Obviously, these guys that are coming up in the 26, 27, 28 classes, well, I shouldn't say coming up in the 26 class because that's the current recruiting cycle, but you could still make an impression. But for the 27, 28 guys, they only know what's happened over the last few years, right? Utah has not been the top of the food chain championship contender that they were in the previous couple of seasons, right? As these guys are coming into high school, this is when they're really starting to pay attention. And so this is a great opportunity for Utah to host these 27 and 28 kids coming in for a visit and to make a good impression. And I think that can go a long way. So I think this is a great opportunity for Utah on the recruiting front to make a good first impression, and I'm excited to see what Utah does. But in terms of talking about opportunities, I think a couple storylines that I think will be really interesting this weekend include the guys Devon Dampier, Spencer Fano, and Caleb Lomu. Right, this is a tremendous opportunity for them. With what's with the stage that they're going to be on a national broadcast. There are a lot of interested folks in this game, and that includes NFL scouts. And there's going to be quite a list of NFL scouts in attendance. And I think this is going to be a game that a lot of people that don't make it to Salt Lake City this weekend are going to be watching, right? So to start, I think with Spencer Fano, Caleb Lomu, this is the game. this is the game that everybody has had circled when you're talking about, you know, talent evaluators, NFL scouts. This is the game that they had circled on their schedule to get a better sense of what Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu are as NFL tackle prospects, because Texas Tech is bringing David Bailey and Romello Height, two of the top edge rushers, not only in the Big 12, but in the country. These guys are dynamic, explosive athletes. This is a big test for them and a great opportunity to showcase and validate a lot of the belief in these guys as top tackles in the 2026 NFL draft class. So this is a tremendous opportunity for them. With Devon Dampier, he put himself, on the early Heisman watch list, and after week 2, he took a hit. Other guys started to make plays. Well, after week 3, I should say. So he got up to, I think, plus 1,500 in terms of odds for the Heisman watch list. Those have fallen to plus 2,000, but this is the sort of opportunity that a good game can go a long ways to putting himself back up the list. And it's as crazy as it is to be talking about a Heisman contender at this point of the season. Devon Dampier is the type that can carry and maintain a presence on the Heisman watch list moving forward because of his importance in the offense, his individual production, what he's primarily responsible for as an individual, as a quarterback. He has the sort of staying power potential as long as he takes care of business this weekend. So, beyond what's going on with the recruiting front and the opportunity that this game presents in terms of the matchup and what it means for the Big 12 title implications and the conference race, these are tremendous opportunities for these individuals to solidify a lot of belief and potential this season. So really looking forward to it. Like I said earlier to start the show, this is the morning episode, and we're, me and Bennett, we've been sort of figuring things out. Tyson, Cam, with their scheduling and what they've got going on, we've been sort of finding our groove, finding our rhythm. And I think what we're going to be doing moving forward is doing our live episode Thursday nights, followed by a Twitter space that Bennett's going to host as well. So I think that's going to be the move for us going forward. And then we'll see what else that brings. But really looking forward to tonight's episode with Bennett. We're going to be breaking down the Utah-Texas Tech game, some of the individual matchups, some of the dynamics and different things going into this game. Where can Utah find an advantage? Where does Texas Tech have an advantage? What sort of game plan do we think we're going to see? We're going to talk about all of that type of stuff when we go live tonight. So looking forward to that. Appreciate everybody for the support of the Utah Blockcast. We'll be back at it again, like I said, tonight with the live. Going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to hearing from everybody.